and I'll emphasize it, she's 5'5". It is hard to find an angle like that on a taller player, and that one's stolen away by Fauntleroy. Fauntleroy, head down, all gas, leaves it off. Besseling takes her time. Lefty hook is good off the glass. A little bit of an early shot for Fauntleroy. Shavers right back at you at the shot blocker. Basham, one of the best in the nation, and one.
Drive for Perry, stripped to the basketball. Reed with Ross running. Ross to the rack.
INT for Witchens.
Witchens. I was calling him Kitchens. My apologies.
Well, he's been cooking, so it makes sense.
Yes, thank you.
And Thomas McDonough gives Stillwater the lead.
Good defending that time by Sherfield, getting it done on both ends. Now open for the triple, extra pass, Dante!
Freiburg collecting. I might have figured it out with Freiburg from State College, Pennsylvania. Penn State playing later today. A lot of reasons to play well, and he hits a big triple.
McLean gets it. 2 seconds to go. Schmitz has to shoot at the horn. It'll count if it goes! Stone cold Aiden Schmitz.
Happy New Year from Tempe, Arizona. We're in their 50th season as a program. Arizona State is about to play in their first ever Big 12 game on home turf. They take on a red-hot Texas Tech team that comes in having won 3 games in a row, and it all starts now on ESPN+. I'm Gavin Schall, and I'm lucky enough to be joined today by former Sun Devils star Arnesia Hawkins. Arnesia, you were lucky to play a lot of big games on this court, right? 4 or 5 NCAA tournament games. This is a big game in a different sense. Obviously, a little bit of history. First game in the Big 12. Texas Tech comes in red hot. No one hotter than Bailey Maupin, who's playing her best basketball of late.
16 minutes to decide a New York State Federation Class AA champion here on the NFHS Network. Gavin Schall once again alongside the coach, Doug Frigo. 38-23 lead for Long Island Lutheran over Stepinac. We mentioned it was kind of an inflection point late in that first half. 15-point game, or 13-point game rather. Stepinac had a couple tries at the free throw line, couldn't convert, had a live ball turnover. Lehigh got the lead as high as 18. Last second 3 by Boogie Flan brought it back, but now Stepinac feels like these first couple minutes of the third quarter crucial for the Crusaders.
Yeah, they got to keep this lead manageable without question. And good start there.
Yeah, that'll help the 3 that time from Jaden Ross, a little bit long. Double pump off the glass. That's a tough shot from Ben Little.
Yeah, great job by Little against the larger defender. As I said, these Stepinac guys give up a couple of inches here and there, but they all play bigger than they are.
Reed on the sling, rotated back out to Edgecombe. Edgecombe picked up 2 fouls in the first half, something to watch heading into the second. Ariana posting up on Gabriel. Gabriel stripping the ball, giving up a lot of weight in that matchup. Planned extra pass. Carbuccia attacking the rim, caught in no man's land, nearly dying on that pivot foot. Gabriel trying to force it up between 2 defenders. A prayer. The cleanup doesn't go, and now a foul.
Well, they got the foul there. Great defense by Gabriel. You know, and the denial. You know, he's a sturdy defender. He holds his position really well defensively. And then just a real fight on this offensive end to keep the play alive and get his teammate to the line.
And that's the 3rd foul against Ariane. So now he is 3, and if you remember in the first half, Amdi Njai has 3 fouls as well. So that is certainly something to watch in this second half. Ben Michael's going to be the solution for the moment. And Njai out there playing with those 3 fouls, but that could quickly get dicey for Long Island Lutheran, where they could lose some of that size advantage that's helped them so much at the rim in this game.
Well, it's a luxury to bring a Michaels off the bench, 6'7", 6'8". Real luxury to replace one of your bigs with another quality big.
And Long Island Lutheran a little sloppy to start this second half.
Stepinac's got to cash in here. You know, they needed to get some stops, you know, without question.
You know, when talking to Victor head coach Tyler Roberts this week, he said, look, there's always a path to victory. When you play Lehigh, it's just a little bit more narrow, or sometimes a lot more narrow, though. Boogie Fland has a way of cracking that pathway wide open. Tough shot that time.
The elevation on the jump shot, tough to defend. Doesn't need much time nor space to get that off.
Reed draws the foul on Carbuccia. Carbuccia's second.
But that's going to be a big key for Stepinac. You've seen these last 2 possessions, you know, getting some points, getting some conversions. When Lehigh runs on them, that's when they've done the most damage in this game. So keep them out of transition by having quality offensive possessions, and then make sure your transition defense is locked in and hustling back, because that's where Lehigh has been their most efficient is when they run.
Jordan Gabriel picking up the foul that time, but you could see it. Stepanak very conscious not to allow that shot at the rim off the inbounds that they gave up a couple times in the first half.
These guys are high basketball IQ, great coaching too. Those little adjustments happen.
Planned foul that time though. Nearly a turnover, and he was begging for Ritvo to cut off of it. So that's on MD Njai, so it's just his third foul.
A good start for Stepanak, goes without saying. A couple of turnovers, limited Lehigh to one shot in their last possession.
Oh, wow, so my mistake on Njai. That's only his second foul. I thought he had quite a few more than that, but that makes more sense why he's still out on the court. As Stepanak can't take advantage of the chance to cut the lead to single digits.
You've got an opportunity here to defend in the half court, make Lehigh work, see if you can force him into a tough shot or a turnover.
Oh, what a move by Edgecombe. Can't pay it off due to the contest from Little. Flan coming back with it. Leave off for Carbuccia, who rattles home the three. Patrick Massaroni, a fist bump and a timeout. The lead down to 7. And the Stepanak faithful are letting Lehigh hear it.
A terrific start, as we said, for Stepanak. It was exactly what they needed to do, and that is get Lehigh out of transition, get good quality possessions when you have the ball, knock down your shots. So far, so good in this half.
And for Long Island Lutheran offensively, have yet to score a point in this second half. A team that in the regular season, particularly when they're not playing NIBC schools, often scores in the 70s, 80s, 90s. What do they need to do to get going on that end of the floor?
Well, I think it's, they really fed off that defense in that first half. As we mentioned before, getting into transition and really playing fast and getting downhill. And catching Stepanak in sort of a scrambling defensive situation. That's where they made them pay. That's where they made their hay in that first half. So in the second half here, it's for Lehigh, it's that same thing. You've got to get some stops defensively and get back to making life a little more difficult for Stepanak.
Lehigh started this year just 1-2 in their first season in the NIBC, and for some, maybe we're looking at it as a rude awakening for the Crusaders. 2 of your first 3 games against IMG and Montfort, perennially 2 of the top 3 or 4 programs in the country. It's a little bit of a shock to the system. Since then, they've won 21 games in a row. Longest winning streak they've ever had under John Buck, as we noted, ascended to number 3 in the country on Max Preps, I believe number 4 in the country on ESPN. Heading to Geico Nationals next week. This is a special, special group. And VJ Edgecombe, one of the main reasons why, but that time falling victim to the great defense once again on the interior for Stepanak. It was Jordan Gabriel, his second, I don't know if it was a block, but a hand on the basketball that led to a turnover.
A great help defense there. Edgecombe got the edge, so to speak, and then great help defense from Gabriel. But, one of the things Stepanak has to do is keep this energy up, keep this style of play up. We know Lehigh is so explosive. They'll drop 8 or 10 points on you in a heartbeat. So Stepanak's got to really keep the foot on the gas here.
Fland hunting for that 3 ball, and a foul on the offensive rebound goes against Jaden Ross, his second. So possession will stay with Stepanak, and we're seeing some of the resiliency for the Crusaders. Last game, it was Eagle Academy coming back against them, flashing that resiliency. Now Stepanak, the underdog, they're showing it, down by just 7, 5:13 to go in the third. A packed house full of Stepanak fans. Can they push their team to victory? We'll see in just a sec.
Exactly.
Shavers at the line, 80% on the year. We mentioned a All Big 12 honorable mention a year ago. Aspirations to play pro ball, and the emphasis from Krista Gerlich says you got to defend on an elite level. That's sort of the next step for her if you want to play professionally.
Yeah, defense is something it doesn't change. You just have to be able to do it and be able to play wherever your team needs you.
Jackson into the corner, no room under the rim for Maggie Besselink just into the game. Good to see Besselink. She was considered a game-time decision today with a concussion. Still no Jalen Brown, dealing with back issues, was a last-second scratch against Penn. Of course, Arizona State's second leading scorer on the season at 17 points per game. Still hoping to see her a little bit later as we're just past the halfway point in this first quarter. Texas Tech doubling up Arizona State 10-5 here on ESPN+. And here's Levette, wing three, not that time. Rebound, though, by Jackson. Fauntleroy bottled up. Well defended by Shavers. This is some pro defense. Now beaten off the dribble. Little push shot, all nylon that time. Nice take from Fauntleroy.
Yeah, that was great from both ends there. She let up just a little bit on defense and left a little room for Fauntleroy to get by.
And here's Danae Fritz coming off her best two-game run of the season. That will not help things. And here's Jazz Jackson, former Red Raider, and a swat. Sarah Sanogo getting back. Foul on the play, so should be free throws here for ASU.
Jazz is really good on the defense end, being able to stay up on defense and get a hand in there like that.
And maybe a little extra motivation for her today. Of course, spent what would have been her senior season at Texas Tech. Season-ending injury before the year started. Decided it was best for both parties for her to move on to Arizona State. Now playing a key role here for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, I'm sure there is a little bit of maybe a little bit of a tense feeling between both sides. In good fun, hopefully. I think she left on good terms, but yeah, you can definitely see them battling out there.
We mentioned this transfer-heavy Arizona State team. Fauntleroy started her career at Georgetown, where she was the 2023 Big East Rookie of the Year. 5 games last season at Oklahoma State, and now at ASU. Arnisa, I don't know if this is something you can relate to, because we were talking about it pregame. Your teams were so consistent under Charlie Turner-Thorne. Felt like the same cast of characters year in and year out, but just putting yourself in this team's shoes, what are the challenges when you kind of have to microwave chemistry, and as Coach Adair put it, only 3 players who had previously played together on this team?
Yeah, I don't think you can microwave chemistry at all. That's something that comes over time and with experience playing with each other. Everybody's so different, and you're learning the same system, so you kind of learn how to mesh together, but being together for longer is definitely much easier than coming together with new pieces to your team.
It's an incredible challenge, and Coach Adair feels like they're heading the right way as Maya Pete put in the jump hook off the glass. Pete, the Arizona native, seeing some early time. Love that move from Coach Gerlich. Getting late in the shot clock. Here's Jazz Jackson, former Red Raider, attacking her old team. Basham on the rebound, knocked out of her hands, and Tech will have it. A push by Maupin. Maupin, pedal down, straight to the rack. Not that time, and Basham beats the rebound on the other end of the floor. Still feels like Arizona State a little rattled, not quite playing at their own pace. You either see early shots or late shots, but not really in that middle zone.
Yeah, I feel like they've figured it out a little bit since coming out of that last time out. They're kind of settling down a little bit. I would say leaving Levette kind of at the top, handling the ball would be a benefit for them, because I've noticed she is really good at handling pressure, and against Texas Tech, that is somebody that you want to have the ball. Then you could have someone like Ty Skinner running off of the screens or being ready on the wing.
And it's an offense that's been explosive, but not always composed. Levette gives you a lot of that when she's on the ball. Coach's kid. Sun Devils again going late into the clock. Cross-court pass finds Fauntleroy, and she finds the bottom of the net. Second 3-ball of the day for Arizona State, and just like that, they tie it up at 12. Maupin, and here's Jada Wynn, stepped out of bounds. Coach Adair is fired up, and Arizona State has an opportunity to take their first lead since it was 5-3.
Really good job by Arizona State moving the ball there for Maggie to see Fauntleroy in the corner. That'll be huge. Maggie's height being able to pick the ball up since Texas Tech is up so high on ball side.
It's a great call, and something Coach Adair was driving home. Flip sides of the court, forced Texas Tech to cover a lot of ground. Pull up pop, Fauntleroy is heating up. Last 5 for the Sun Devils, and they have the lead. Here's Maupin. Quiet start for her. Corner kick. Jada Wynn, not that time. Rebound tipped out, and Arizona State will have it. They're out and running. Here's Ty Skinner. Race to the rim, and she's going to win it.
It seems like Arizona State is definitely finding a groove here.
7-0 run in under a minute. They made their last 3 shots. Now Tech, the team that needs to find some rhythm. You wonder if Coach Gerlich thinking about a timeout. Kyla Freelon on the kick. Time and space for Maupin, and she will make you pay. A 32% three-point shooter, but she's been hot of late.
That's what I was going to say. She will make you pay. So if you're going to leave anybody open, you don't want it to be Maupin for sure.
Will often guard the other team's best player. Comfortable switching on the perimeters. You see her do to Jazz Jackson there. Little miscommunication. Extra pass. Besselink from the corner. Time and space. Cashes it in. Arizona State, a 10-2 burst.
It'll be interesting to see if Maggie stays out there for more of the game, because we see her inside and top of the key a lot, but that could be something that changes the game if she can expand the floor from the bottom.
Been a really nice connective passer, a travel that time for Maya Pete, trying to post up Nevaeh Parkinson, who had her struggles defensively against Penn, but really nice job holding her ground there.
Yeah, Nevaeh does a great job down there.
So Fauntleroy will check in, Besselink will check out. I'm with you. I thought some great minutes there for Maggie Besselink. Still no Jalen Brown for the Sun Devils. Think it's pretty safe to say not going to see her today, dealing with back issues. It's a little bit more pressure on the rest of this backcourt, but again, Natasha Adair thinks that's a strength. Fauntleroy will go late, step back. Parkinson, back up and in.
That is exactly what Coach Adair wants from Nevaeh Parkinson down there, ready to find the rebound, find the ball, and then put it back up for those layups.
Shooting 60% in the paint on the season. She is automatic around the rim. Texas Tech trying to find some rhythm. Won't there. Wynn misses her second straight three from the same spot. Sun Devils trying to run. Ill-advised pass, and that'll be an unforced error that time from Ty Skinner. What are you saying from Texas Tech? Where can they hit their stride again offensively?
Offensively, I would honestly say that they should focus a little bit on rebounding, getting more second shots, making Arizona State play a little more defense and not letting them get that transition. They're not doing bad, but they just need to find their rhythm.
First quarter winding down. Tech running out of time. Fritz at the horn. Not that time. And Arizona State ends the first quarter on a burst, hitting 5 of their last 6 field goals, a 10-3 run. The Sun Devils are in control, trying to win in their first ever Big 12 home game here on ESPN+.